Or the interviews with the cast and crew that make the whole production sound like a multi-million-dollar coping session for lonely single women staring down the barrel of middle age. And
what the fuck? Wow, we're getting to the cringe early. This Organized Chaos video is brought to you by Gems Art Studio. This video is also brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Hello everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Bob here. Doing a request, not exactly a shocking request. Speaking of the drinker, he made a video on She-Hulk. Want to do that next? I'll be blunt, not really, because I know what's coming. But I probably fucking should. So, here we go. She-Hulk. It's a comedy in quotations. I assume that's his way of saying it's not a comedy. It is, but hey, whatever. Let's see. Let's see what he says. Maybe he'll have the really based take on this one. Okay, what I will say is that I'm assuming this is a review of the series. It came out, a day before the series came out, so I assume he got, like, an early copy. So, yeah, as a reviewer, he might have some good ideas, so this might not be the worst video ever. But no matter what, in every review, he's going to have some cringe. So we have that to look forward to here. We have that to look forward to, guys. So don't worry. We will get to some cringe, I'm sure. I hope we don't. For what it's worth, I hope we don't. But we will.
She-Hulk. A show that hasn't exactly endeared itself to fans of the comic book character, or the Marvel.
It hasn't endeared itself to fans of the comic book character. Lots of people who are familiar with the comic book character that I know of, like me, haven't had an issue with anything that they've presented so far outside the CGI. The CGI in that first teaser looked bad. Since then, it's looked better. In the show, it looked fine. But yeah, as far as the tone they're going for, this is She-Hulk.
Marvel movies, or anyone else, really. Whether it's the fucking
The only people I see hating it are the people like Critical Drinker and such. Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic. They're all hating on this. Most of the actual Marvel fans and the fans of the Marvel movie don't have a problem with this from what I've seen.
Atrocious CGI that looks like something shot out in the early 2000s.
That was in the first teaser. I already brought that up. That was the first teaser. It does not look... It looks way better now. It looks good in the show. Yes, that first teaser, the CGI looked bad. They fixed it, as they do.
Or the interviews with the cast and crew that make the whole production sound like a multi-million-dollar coping session for lonely single women staring down the barrel of middle age. And
what the fuck? Wow, we're getting to the cringe early. This is just women in an interview, and he's like, oh my god, lonely single women. I doubt they're single, and what? They're just sitting on a fucking couch, dude. Holy shit. I don't even know how to address this. Can women not sit on a couch and talk about the fucking show? What?
And facing up to the terrifying reality that their lives are ultimately as hollow and empty as the box of cheap supermarket wine they get through every evening. Still, hope.
Wow, okay. Cringe take. We got the cringe take out of the way, so the rest of this will be good, right? Probably not. 31 seconds in, we already got a cringe take. Probably not going to be his best review.
Shines eternal when you're a YouTube movie critic. Yeah, maybe we're not going to get gripping, hard-hitting storylines and compelling characters like we've had in none of the other MCU shows on Disney+, but what the show does promise us is
Yeah, you mean like WandaVision and Loki and Moon Knight, which are all awesome shows, by the way? Hey, you don't like it, that's fine, but your typical reasons for not liking this stuff are usually less than profound, dude.
Laughter. Lots of laughter. Because according to the advertising, She-Hulk is a hilarious legal comedy told from a female perspective. Kind of like Ally McBeal meets Sex and the City with a dash of superhero magic thrown in. A show that's all about the everyday reality of just being a regular person in this crazy mixed up world.
I don't know about Sex and the City. But yeah, I mean, there would actually be a logic being like a superhero Ally McBeal being what you want She-Hulk to be. There would be a logic there. I could see that.
what happens on a regular Tuesday when you just have to do laundry. That's really kind of the slice of life that this show kind of explores.
A lot of documentation, a lot of...
This is the show of legal paperwork.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Why do I get the feeling that the writing staff just really wanted to do a standard sitcom about modern day life and only took on this gig because it was the only way to make it happen?
You know what drives me nuts is they always make a big deal out of these fucking promotional interviews. This is just actors talking about a job they got. You know how excited an actor is when they have a regular gig? That's not something most actors have. So having a regular gig is kind of a big deal. And yeah, part of it is you do promotion for it. That's part of the job. But they always shit on them just for like talking positively about whatever project they're on. And it's like, that's part of the job, dude. They're not going to shit on their current project and possibly lose their job over it. It's not how it works.
Like, you know how Seth MacFarlane really wanted to do a serious Star Trek show with the Orville, but the only way he could get it greenlit was to make it a comedy satire because that's what everyone expected of him. Well, I'm getting kind of a similar vibe with this.
Did you see The Orville? The Orville's excellent. Yes, the first half of season 1's a little inconsistent, but once it finds its groove, it's really good. It's essentially a serious sci-fi show with comedic moments.
Anyway, I guess it makes sense for this show to be a comedy, partly because the MCU has basically turned into one big joke over the past couple of years.
Ha ha ha. The MCU's always, in fact, it's always been criticized for having too much comedy. That's been a pretty constant critique of the MCU over the years.
And partly because, to be fair, it's staying true to the source material. The original She-Hulk from the comics was well known for making witty observations about the world around her, breaking the fourth wall on a regular basis, and for her flirtatious wink-wink acknowledgement about the kind of audience that was actually reading her books. Wouldn't expect any of this in the show though. I mean, I could argue that bringing in a character like Daredevil, who's well known for his dark, brooding and violent persona, and whose dead serious Netflix show basically launched a far superior Marvel TV universe before Disney pulled the plug on it, makes about as much sense as bringing
Okay, so like, yeah, the Netflix Marvel stuff is actually really good until you get to Iron Fist. Iron Fist is not so great. Let's not talk like that's like a spotless track record there. They definitely have some issues with those. Daredevil Season 2, the Punisher stuff in Season 2 is amazing. The Hand stuff in Season 2, pretty bad.
Freddy Krueger into an episode of the Teletubbies, but whatever.
How the fuck is Freddy Krueger comparable to the fucking Daredevil? In fact, here's a question I have for lots of people that criticize this. What about the Matt Murdock character in the Netflix Marvel series is a gritty R-rated character that can never ever be represented in PG-13? What about it? I hate to point out to you, the character that's the most R-rated would be probably someone like the Kingpin, who is crushing people's skulls with his door. Daredevil himself is not particularly R-rated character. Even in that series, you could make him PG-13 fairly easily, simply by making things a little less bloody. That's it.
To this day, I'm not entirely sure which one's more terrifying. I'm sure they'll treat him with great respect and dignity, just like they did with Kingpin.
What is people's issues with Kingpin and Hawkeye? He was fine. He had a very small role, and he'll be back in Echo. They didn't do much with him. People keep on bitching about, oh, they ruined Kingpin and Hawkeye, but they never give me fucking examples of how they fucking ruined him. He just had a small role in Hawkeye, and then now he'll be in Echo, and that's it. Want to give me points on somehow his character being ruined now? Because I missed that.
But the question that comes to mind for me is, if She-Hulk really is a comedy, then is it actually funny? Well, until the show itself comes out in a couple of days, all we've got to go on is a few sample clips that have been released by Marvel.
He hasn't watched it? He hasn't watched it. What is the point of this video? You already critiqued the trailer quite poorly, I might add. Oh, Jesus.
So far, the kind of top-tier cream-of-the-crop content that's guaranteed to leave us soiling our underwear in fits of laughter. Like this one here, where She-Hulk is training alongside, regular Hulk, and being better than him at everything. Naturally. Damn, remember when the Hulk was a genuinely terrifying character that teetered right on the brink of being a villain, to the point where even Black Widow was shit scared of Bruce in case he transformed, instead of just being a goofy CGI version of Mark Ruffalo?
Yes, it's almost like the character developed. It's almost like the character evolved. Isn't that weird? It's almost like over time, the character changes because he's evolved. Am I getting through to you? The character evolved, dude. It's different. We aren't going to do the same thing over and over again. We're going to evolve the characters and do new things with them. That's called good storytelling.
I see this as an absolute win.
I'm sure you do, Mark. But hey, there's a joke in here somewhere, right?
Which means that we can drink so much and not get drunk.
Wait, what? What the fuck's the point in drinking alcohol if you can't actually get drunk from it? Do you really think people like me drink massive quantities of it every day just because it tastes nice?
Not a great plan.
But not...
Yes, and if you'd actually watched the show, you saw what it is you don't get drunk, but you get buzzed. It brings you right up to being buzzed. And that's kind of the point of drinking alcohol, really. You're going for the buzz. You don't want to go past the buzz. Once you're past the buzz, you're just gonna have a bad night.
So worry, an even better clip got released a couple of days ago, this time serving as an opening scene for the show, and it's a car crash. I'm sure there's some kind of symbolic meaning to that. Anyway, Jen and Bruce are taking a car ride together.
Get it? It's hilarious. Yeah, very clever. I never would have seen that coming. Brilliant work.
And it made me chuckle the moment I saw Mark Ruffalo's face, because I could practically picture what was going on in his mind. Just smile and do the scene, Mark, so we can get the fuck out of here. To be fair, this is the kind of face that I'd probably have if I had to spend a long car journey listening to banter from Jennifer Walters. Now I have to admit,
Banter from Jennifer Walters? What the fuck, dude? I like how you're judging the character without even fucking seeing the series. Jesus Christ.
Given the context of this show and the people writing it, I did wonder how long it was going to be before they started taking pot shots at established Marvel heroes. And as it turns out, not too long at all. Today's object of mockery is Steve Rogers. Why does there seem to be this weird effort to tear down Captain America in these Marvel TV shows?
I missed that. Where's the effort to tear down Captain America? Are you gonna elaborate, or are you just gonna fucking say that? I'm getting sick of you guys just saying this shit without elaborating. How are they tearing down Captain America? Explain that to me. Right now, Steve Rogers Captain America is a legacy character who has passed on his mantle to Sam Wilson Captain America, who at first didn't want to take it because he didn't think he could live up to Steve's standard, but he decided to go ahead and take it on. How are they shitting on him there? And She-Hulk, all they do is theorize if he's a virgin or not. That's all they do. And it's actually kind of funny. That's it. It doesn't shit on him at all. Get over it.
Like Falcon and the Winter Soldier already had a good crack at making him out to be a selfish asshole for passing on his shield to Sam without acknowledging his privilege and
What the fuck did you watch? I don't even know where to begin with this. Holy shit. Yeah, he's an asshole for passing it on to Sam, for thinking Sam could be a better Captain America? What? Just... No. You don't know how to watch things. You don't. I don't know how else to assess it. You don't know how to watch things. Or you're purposely misinterpreting it for your fan base. You know, I'm pretty sure it's the second one. I'm pretty sure you're purposely misinterpreting it for your fan base. But maybe you just don't know how to watch things. Maybe doing this character has tainted your mind and now you don't know how to watch things properly. I don't know, but that is not what happened in that series.
apologizing for his own existence. How dare he? But it always makes
Jesus Christ.
me laugh, because if he'd passed it to Bucky instead, then he'd have been accused of racism for overlooking the far more deserving black man. It must be...
Well, also, they already established that Bucky didn't want it, and they both felt Sam was the better choice. That's the MCU reason for giving it to Sam. Can you deal with that?
great fun playing a game where every possible move results in failure. Anyway, I'm digressing here. Let me get back to Jen and her scintillating banter.
So, back to what I was saying before?
Please, Jen, enlighten us.
Well, can you get to it before you have a commentary?
Steve Rogers did not have a girlfriend before he went into the service.
That's right, he didn't, because he didn't look like this, and as a result he was probably passed over by a lot of shallow, self-absorbed arseholes who would prefer to judge a man's worth based on how he looks and how much money he makes.
Wow. Giving off lots of incel energy right there. Yes, there are lots of women who will judge you based on your looks. And yes, they are shallow. These are not women you typically want to hook up with. That's just a fact. There are shallow women, but just like there are shallow fucking men. They both exist. It's not just a woman issue. Lots of women will not want to hook up with a guy that looks like Steve, and they're missing out. One of the reasons why the relationship between Steve and Peggy worked is because you could tell she liked him even before he became Captain America. But yes, shallow people exist. It's not just shallow women. Shallow people exist.
But then again, Steve got turned into Captain America, saved the world on countless occasions, and got to spend the rest of his days with the love of his life, before finally passing on the torch to a new generation, a fulfilled man facing the end of a long and happy life with peace, dignity, and acceptance. While people like you, on the other hand, get to cry yourself to sleep every night after spending another evening alone on the couch with a bottle of wine and a rerun of Sex and the City.
What? Dude, you're talking about a clip and you're just giving us all Jennifer Walters' life based on what? What you think women do? You don't understand women if you think that's just a stereotypical way women act. Jesus Christ, dude.
Who lived the more worthwhile life, I wonder?
From that moment...
She's a fucking lawyer, dude. Let's assume she's done more of her life than what you just said. And hey, let's maybe even assume she doesn't even do what you said because you just pulled that out of your ass.
On a symbol of America, he is rushed to the front lines, he becomes a war hero.
Now, I don't know, man. If you'd watched the movie, then you'd probably know that Steve was actually used as a celebrity performer and propaganda symbol for quite some time before actually seeing combat.
Yeah, and he wasn't actually rushed to the front lines. He rushed himself to the front lines. It's almost like Jennifer Walters doesn't know exactly what happened in his story. Maybe she didn't see the movie. Maybe she just knows offhand information. Is that crazy?
I'm no expert here, but I'm pretty sure more than a few of these dancing girls got a welcome injection of patriotism between shows, if you catch my drift.
Well, I guess we found out in the series that one of them did, yes.
All you're doing is repeating everything that I've already told you about my friend and colleague.
How could he take something that was just a fun joke in the show and make it sound kind of gross and dirty? Jesus Christ. Yes, people have sex, like Steve Rogers, who had sex once. Sure.
I know, Mark. Isn't it annoying when screenwriters do nothing but rehash previously known information just to fill in time?
Obviously, Captain America was a virgin.
Look out! I know what you did. You're a damn fag.
Oh, stop it, Jen. My sides can only split so much. I mean, if this is the cream of the crop that Marvel have chosen to show us to get us fired up for the real thing, then the mind boggles at what might be waiting for us once She-Hulk actually airs. Seriously though, I know these are only a limited selection of clips that might have just been poorly chosen. Maybe the actual show will be a comedy masterclass and we'll forget all the doubts and criticisms that were swirling around it before the premiere. I mean, the head writer wrote Pickle Rick for Rick and Morty, so that gives me some kind of hope that she knows how to work humour and satire into an engaging story, but the problem is that Rick and Morty was a very different show from She-Hulk, made by a very different studio. Call me cynical if you like, but I can't shake the feeling that this is a show written by a group of single women in their late 30s.
A show written by a group of single women in their late 30s. So what? Let's go ahead and say they are. So what? So what? Does that mean they can't write now? What's the wrong with being a single woman in your late 30s? Answer me that one, dude. Why are you saying that like it's a negative? There is nothing wrong with being a single woman in your late 30s. Nothing wrong with that. Why are you acting like that's a negative? Jesus Christ.
Whose main preoccupation is exploring the angst and hang-ups of being a single woman in your late 30s.
Well, believe it or not, a single woman in their late 30s would probably be best at writing for a single woman in their late 30s. Fun fact.
And so really, that's the only people that it's likely to appeal to. I mean, that's perfect.
Not necessarily, because I imagine single people in their late 30s could appeal to it. Single people could appeal to it. It all depends on how well it's written, dude. It's about the quality of the writing.
Perfectly fine by me. There's nothing wrong with targeting specific demographics and making products designed to appeal to them. But if that's the case, I can't wait for Marvel to start making shows designed to appeal to heterosexual men who enjoy seeing kick-ass heroes, guns, action, explosions, and hot women. But
Jesus Christ, that's almost all that Marvel's made. Fucking, I could cover a wall with Marvel movie posters, throw a dart blindfolded, and odds are it would land on something that perfectly fit what you just described. Fucking Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger, the Avengers. That's entirety of Phase 1 right there, and it all fits that criteria right there. Right there. So let's pretend for a moment that Marvel's already done a shit ton of that. A shit ton. And now they do something that's not that. Now they have a couple now they have a couple of franchises they've started that don't quite fit into that critique, and now you're shitting on it for not fitting in that. Jesus Christ.
But of course, we know that'll never happen. Either way,
well, number one, yes, we're going to get more of that. And number two, it's happened a lot already.
I guess we'll find out one way or another in a couple of days when the show airs. Can't say I'm exactly waiting with bated breath, though. Anyway,
no, I'm shocked.
That's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Okay. I love the time code on this. This is just over 8 minutes. While he bitches about She-Hulk, and it's not even the fucking... I had thought he, had a preview of the first episode or something, but it's not even that. He's just bitching about a couple of clips. Oh, God. His speculation stuff is the worst. I swear to God. And this is just another random speculation video on She-Hulk, probably to help catch in on the She-Hulk algorithm, because he saw it was going to be popular. Fuck. This is bad. Ugh. Gotta make that 8-minute video, huh?
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.